Grado 202DL 508 demonstration video. Your control panel is just above a habitation door. This here will light up whenever you plug into the 230 mains. I'm not plugged in at the minute, that's why it's not lit up. This turns on and off the van. This is a touch panel, so all you have to do is more or less just touch and it comes on and off. So it's on, off, on. The functions at the side. This here is for your leisure battery, and this gauge shows your levels for your freshwater tank and waste tank. So for your leisure battery, simply touch the screen and it shows 12.3 volts. Whenever you're plugged into the mains, that will be right up to the top. And the next one down is for your freshwater, you're 50% full, and this one is for your wastewater and you're 1/4% full. Your fridge has 3 modes: gas, leisure battery and 230 volt. To turn on your fridge, hold this button in here. You'll see the screen lighting up, and because I was on gas beforehand, it goes back on gas. But to change the settings, is this one here, this first button here. Hold that on until the screen flashes. You can then scroll back and forth using the arrows. So that is your 230 volt, your leisure battery and gas. Once you select, and press this button once again, and then it takes you over to the temperature side of it, and press it again. So that's you on the gas mode now. To change to 230 volt, just simply press the button again and with the thing flashes, and use your arrows to scroll over to 230 volt. The 230 volt won't work at the minute because I'm not plugged in. And for your leisure battery mode only works when the engine is running. It's just used for travelling purposes between campsites or wherever you're heading for. So simply just press the middle button with the screen flashes, and then use the arrows to scroll across to whatever function you want. Press the grey button once again, and that will take you across to the temperature side of it, and press the grey button again, and that's you all set up. To open the fridge, just simply pull this wee lever back here and open up. To turn the fridge off completely, hold this button back in again, and you can see the screen goes off. Your heating controls and warm water is just below the rear bed. You have 2 functions, gas and electric again. So simply press this button in. This button is also a scroll. It turns to whatever function you want. So press the button in. There you can see the icons. Now this one flashing here is for your heating. So to set the heating, press the middle button, and you can scroll up to whatever temperature you want. It heads up to the top limit is 30 degrees. Make sure you press this button once again. You can then scroll over to here where we have gas or electric functions. So click on that. We are already on gas here at the minute because the gas bottle is above the line. But if we want electric, you have 2 elements on electric. You have element 1 and element 2. Basically it means it's a higher fan, and a higher heat comes out of element 2 than element 1. But element 1 is very, very low, and element 2 is not much higher. So if you want electric, click on that and scroll up to electric. I won't have electric, so there's no point me clicking on it. Click on the button. I'll just go down to gas because I have gas on. The mix 1 and 2 is gas and electric. It's very slow compared to electric or the gas on its own. The gas will be the quickest and more powerful So we'll just click on the gas, and then you go over to this icon here for your fan. Now you have eco, high, and click on high. Now once you select, you have to make sure you click this button here and have icons above this line, otherwise it's not doing nothing. So make sure after you select to click. So we're now on heating on gas. For our warm water, it's this icon here. So just scroll across to that, click, and see it's off. We have eco, high, and boost. Click on that again. So we're now using our warm water on the gas mode. Same thing again, you can use gas and electric for your warm water. Just simply scroll across to the gas bottle and the wee lightning sign, and you can select gas or electric. I'm just using gas because I'm not plugged into the mains at the minute. Yeah, for the warm water you have no need to use the fan mode of it. And to turn that off, so we will go to the warm water, because the heating is on there at the minute. So scroll across to the warm water and scroll back to off, and then to turn off the heating, go back to the icons flashing here, click, and scroll right down again to off, and that's the whole thing turned off. Your gas hob, just on the left of the habitation door. You'll need a sparker, igniter, or a box of matches for this. So simply push down the button and turn. Light your hob, let go, and that's it. To turn it off, just simply turn the knob back again. The oven, same thing. You have a sparker on this here. So to light the oven, this knob here, turn it left, hold the knob on and press your sparker, and that's your oven lid. Same thing with the grill. Turn your off and off. This wee line points straight up to 12 o'clock for off. For your grill then, turn right, hold the button on and spark. As you can see now, that's just a reflection of from the top, and that's your grill lid. Same thing again, turn the knob to 12 o'clock and that turns it off. This grill has a safety feature. When using a grill, you have to leave the door open. Not fully open, it's usually about here. What happens when there's a wee switch sensor. If the door's closed, the grill goes out. So I'll light the grill here now. You can see the grill's kind of going. So if I close the door to about there, it works, and if I close it any further, the grill goes out. So that's just a safety feature if the door closes. What happens could be the glass could heat up and crack. For your TV, the aerial booster is in the cupboard above the living area. Basically you don't really have to touch that. There is an on and off switch to it, you can turn it off if you want. But that knob, in the middle, the black knob, has to be up at the max to get full signal from your area. So it's up at the max at the minute. This TV, once you go from campsite to campsite, will need retuned. So out in the Republic here, you'll only get the RTE programs, and then when you go into the north or anywhere else, you'll get the British programs. The rear bed, half the bed folds up. It's on a ram for storage. So if you lift the bed up, you have plenty of storage underneath. You can just then pull it back down again to form the rear bed. You have a ladder for the rear bed, which simply just clicks on and to here. For the bed in the living area, the leg in the table folds over on a knuckle joint by simply pressing this button. See, it's straightened out there now. To fold it over, press on the button and push the knuckle down. It then clips into that bottom rail. I'll just do that now. So the table clips into the bottom rail and it rests on the leg again. Your cushions then can be folded down and the passenger side seat swivels round to meet for extra leg room. Your freshwater tank is located under the living area seating. When filling in your tank, you have a tap outside, the same as your last van or like the diesel tank. I'll show it to you after a wee while. This black top has to be closed. This is a plunger or a plug that goes right through the tank and closes your freshwater tank for filling with water. So at the minute it's closed, by turning it clockwise. To open this up, turn it anti-clockwise. You only need to turn it a few turns, otherwise it can separate from the tank and it's very hard to get back into place. So to close it up again, close it clockwise. Don't over tighten it. So to loosen it, anti-clockwise, just a few turns to hear the water. You can hear the water running out on the ground. And to tighten it, turn it clockwise. There's also a frost valve which is located underneath the rear bed. It's inside this cupboard. It's just a little black box with a blue diamond shaped at the top. That also needs to be closed when filling the van for fresh water. This is a safety precaution for your boiler, this wee valve. The function is basically, it's by the name, frost valve. If the temperature drops below 2, this wee valve opens up and dumps all the water out of the van to stop the pipes from freezing up on the elements and your boiler. At the moment it's closed, so I'll open it up. It's by turning this here, and this wee button here pops out. So as you can see, the button popped out. That's emptying the water out of the boiler at the minute. Now to close it, turn the knob like that and push the button and then that stops the flow of water. So when filling your van fresh water, make sure the black top and the freshwater tank is closed and that the wee button here on the side of your frost valve is pushed in. If you find this button here does not stay in, that's either because this is turned in this direction or it's too cold. If you find that this is closed and the button still doesn't stay in, it's too cold, run your heating for half an hour. It warms up the system and then the button will stay in by itself. Also under the rear bed is your trip switch. So anything running on your 230 volt, this is more or less the fuse box or trip. So if you find that your van isn't charging from the mains, come back here and make sure these trips is up. At the minute they're up, this wee boy just opens up like so. If they push down, same as at home, your trip switch at home. So your fridge, charger and anything else running on 230 volt in this van is running through this here. So if you find there's something working on 230 volt, just come back here and make sure these trips is up. You have a fuse box for your 12 volt. So anything running on 12 volt in the van is underneath the passenger seat. There's a hatch here at the front of the seat. Here, that just pulls down and all your fuses in behind it. Your 2 leisure batteries is underneath the driver's seat. If you want access to them, the seat has to come off. It just simply screws out of the frame. Your electric step in this van has a buzzer. So when you turn on the ignition, a buzzer comes on to notify that the step is still out. So you have to get up and push on the step again. The buzzer then goes off when the step's retracted. Your reversing camera comes on automatically when selecting reverse gear. You can have this on while driving this also when out of reverse gear. So if I put it out of reverse, it goes off. Just hit this button here and you can see behind the van while driving. But once you go on to reverse again, this stays on, but a grid comes up on the screen. So that's you in reverse, and that's you back in neutral. Your 230 volt, your lead, is plugged into the right hand side of the van. These are just vents for the fridge. Your awning pole is situated up here in the back wall. Your jack and wheel brace is inside that black box. Carpets for inside the van. Your gas locker is on the left hand side of the van. It holds 2 11 kg bottles. So it's something to turn on the gas. It's on here at the minute, so if I turn it off, oh sorry, it's off. So if I turn it, sorry, it's on. So to turn it on, turn the knob anti-clockwise. And to turn it off, turn it clockwise. So that's me turning the gas off, turning it clockwise. To change bottles, this nut here is left hand thread. You have a spanner here with it to loosen it up with. So it's left hand thread. So to loosen this nut you have to turn clockwise. To tighten it you turn anti-clockwise. Make sure when also there's a wee rubber seal inside here that is still attached when swapping bottles. Otherwise you'll have a gas leak. This is where you fill your freshwater tank. Just stick a hose in through there and fill. You can overflow this. The water just comes straight to the ground. It also locks from the keys on the bunch of keys you have there. You'll find when you fill your freshwater tank after it has been emptied that you won't have water at the taps for the first few minutes. Run your taps. All for first few minutes, all you'll have is air and pushing out there and a lot of spitting. If you run between hot and cold, it pushes the air out first, and after a couple of minutes, see there, that's getting rid of the air. So after a few minutes of that there, you will have a steady stream of water. Like that. Your bathroom, same thing. For your shower, simply push this in and this whole wall comes out, and then you have your shower area. And just to close it up, simply close back in again until that locks into place. That wee wiper just pops back in. For your toilet, there's an electric flush. It also runs onto a cassette. So to open the cassette, you pull this wee lever here. So to use the flush, simply hold the blue button down in here. And to release the contents is the grey lever down here at the side. And it opens the cassette. When pulling the cassette out of the locker, make sure this flap is closed. Otherwise the locker will not come out with this flap is opened. So make sure it's closed. So the locker for your toilet cassette, simply push this button and this button on together. There's a wee magnet built into this so it stays up itself to the van. Lift this orange lever and pull out. To empty the contents in, this here turns. Unscrew your tap and go to your nearest gully or facilities for wherever you're at and empty. Simply then push back in again and it clicks back into place. To open your waste, you have this wee grey handle here, the wee square end on it. It goes on the square rod. So to open it up, it turn anti-clockwise. You can see then the contents is emptied, and to close it, turn clockwise. That is all on the left hand side of the van. To open the bonnet in your van, it's on the left hand side, passenger side. Simply pull this lever back. The swivel seats, simply pull this lever here at the side, pull this out and turn your body and the seats will turn. The two seats are the same. Your Bluetooth radio installed and your USB port on the kitchen area is just above the tap.